Hello, everybody. This is Kevin Smith with Board Game Losers, and the third game that is on my list or in my collection that is rated from least hardest to learn to hardest to learn. That's what they. So they're weighted. So that weight determines how easy or hard a game is. And I've already reviewed two of my games in my collection. This is the third one. It comes in at a weight of 1.48, and it is Camel Up, not Camel Cup, as a lot of people like to try to call it. But Camel Up is kind of a zany game that's all about chance. So you heavy strategers out there, pass this one up. You're not going to be able to handle this one. If you don't like chance, where a roll of the dice or a draw of a card can determine your fate, this one may not be for you if you're really highly competitive. But if you're wanting just a silly, fun game that does two things: one, it brings smiles, and two, it brings cheers. This game, every time I bring it out with any group, solicits the best responses of any game I've got in my collection. I do have one of our good friends in our group. He does not like this game, and that's okay. He doesn't have to like it. But the zany antics that take place in Camel Up are amazing. A must see, must have, must play, must do. I think, so what is this rated? This is in family 116 on BGG. Overall 493. This is a top 500 game. And that's saying a lot. The other two I think that I did were ranked overall 9,000 to 10,000. Now this one's top 500, and for my wife, it is probably top 3, if not 1. So let's talk about how Camel Up works. Basically, you're just, it's like you're at the racetrack, a horse track, dog track, and you are placing bets. All right. So, and to do that, you really don't even have to use any money. All the money that you gain in this game, most of it you get to keep. The only penalty is 1 coin. That's the highest penalty there is 1 coin. And as you can see, we have $10 bills. We have $20 bills. We have some coinage here, some 1s and 5s that represent bills as well. Or that's the currency of the game. So what you're doing is you only have 4 actions that you can choose. All right, so we'll start here. And this action for the entire race. Well, before I go to the first action, let's talk about this. The race happens in legs. So there's 5 dice in the pyramid, and those dice are going to come out one at a time. Once all 5 dice come out, that's the end of a leg. So wherever the camels are based on the dice, that's it. The dice have the numbers 1 through 3 on them. So at most, you would think a camel could go here. But that's where the crazy zaniness takes place. First of all, let me brag about my wife's camels. She picked these up at Gen Con, I believe. And these are custom. These don't come with the game, but she got these because she just thought they were pretty cool. I don't know if it was... I don't remember what the name of the company is that these came from. Wanted to give them a shout out because they always have great game components every time we see them at any convention. But anyway, so maybe it's, I was going to say something. All right, so you have 5 colors. You have orange, you have blue, you have green, white, and yellow. All right, so let's go through. Let me show you what we can do. First of all, let's go over the things that you can do. One, you can say that, hey, for the entire race, I'm deciding that, let's say orange is going to be first. no matter what happens, I'm taking a long shot. So you have these cards in your hand. So you have one for each color of camel. All right. So what you do if you decide that is you take this and you put it face down. Now remember, that's not the end of a leg. That's for the entire race. So once somebody crosses that finish line, I'm saying that that orange is going to win and cross the finish line first. So I probably wouldn't do that right now because I don't have enough information. The second spot over here is the same, but I'm saying that camel's going to come in last. So you just take the same card, pick a different camel, of course. So you're going to think white, and you put it face down. The other action that you can do is right here, which is this is what lets you draw a dice out of the pyramid. So let's say that I take that as player 1 here to the left, and I decide I'm going to do it. You just take the pyramid, and you turn it upside down, give it a shake. A dice comes out, and we have the number 2. So since it's green number 2, you guessed it, green is going to go 2. All right. This green dice goes on the tent so that all the players know that green has went. He's not going to go again this turn. And then the next player 2, would take their action, and they're like, oh, green's in the lead. So that brings us to another action they can do. They can choose this to say, hey, this leg of the race, green's going to come in first. Now, if they win, they're going to get $5. All right. And now, on the side over here, I don't know if you can see it. If he at least comes in second, you're still going to get $1. But anything else is going to cost you $1. But that goes in front of his tableau, in front of that player, and that's their turn. So your 4 actions bet on the camel is going to come in first for the entire race, last for the entire race. You can choose to get a dice out of the pyramid, roll the dice, or you can bet. And as you can see with the green one, the first player to go there has a higher reward. The next player, it would only be 3 total, and so forth, so on. Now, the last action you can do, because this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. The last one you can do is you can try to stump the camels up. So you have this tile that allows you to move a camel up 1 or down 1. All right. So if I put this in front, I can choose to put that in front of the green camel. And if that camel lands there, I'm going to get paid $1, and the camel's going to have to go back 1 space. That is all the actions on the game. So let's go through this real quick. Kind of show you what takes place with these camels. So orange got 1. So orange is going to go out. So that's what this player rolled again. And the next player is going to say, okay, I think orange is going to come in first. So you can pick multiple to do the same thing. So now if orange comes in first and green comes in second, they're going to win $6. So we go to the next one. All right, now this is where it gets interesting. Now we got white with a 1. Now watch what happens. The white camel is now going to stack on top of the orange camel. Now white is actually now leading the orange camel. See how it stacks like this? And I'll turn it sideways so that the camera can see them. So they're stacked up like this. I'm not going to do any more betting with that. We're just going to get the dice out. Oh, now blue got a 1. Blue got a 1. Now blue is going to be ahead of white and orange. And there you go. So now you can see what can happen. So now you would have to make your bets first on that. And then yellow, of course, gets 1. Now, when the next round comes, and let's say we've got all these dice back in here, and let's say that I get blue that gets a 1. Now the blue camel is going to go on top of the green camel, which makes the yellow camel in the lead, right? Okay, so something else zany that might happen. Since that was the blue, let's say that the green gets a 3. If the green gets a 3 at this point, the green's going to bypass that and take them all the way down there. Now you can see blue and green have went. Yellow has not. So let's say yellow gets a 3. Now yellow is going to be like this. And so that's how unpredictable that is. Let me lay those down so you can see those from the top. Right? And so that would have been into the second round. So just in the second leg of the race, you've got orange here. Yellow there. Let's say that white goes, ends up on that, has to go back. And orange goes and ends up on top of there. That would be the end of a leg. So at the end of that leg, you would take these cards and then you would resolve them. Unfortunately for this player, none of this happens. They would have to play 2. If you don't have any money, you don't have to pay it. And that would be that. Player 1's going to get $2 for rolling the pyramid twice. And then we would go on to the next leg. But we have seen so many times the last camel, like in this instance, the orange camel, come all the way over and pass that yellow camel right before the finish line. And everybody is dead set that he's going to be last. And it just causes the best laughter. And it's the most fun. And that is Camel Up. This is a actually 2 to 8 player game. I've never played it with that many people. But it can play up to 8. It's 20 to 30 minutes per player, I would say. No, I wouldn't say that. That's incorrect. It has 20 to 30 minutes for playing time. If everybody knows what they're doing, that probably is a whole game. I don't know about 8 players. The most I've ever played is 4, and the average game does take about 30 minutes. So it's pretty good. This is another game that it does say 8 and up, but you could definitely play with younger players. Probably just depends on their level. 5, 6, 7 years old could definitely play this. I highly recommend it, and that's Camel Up. And I am Kevin with Board Game Losers.